start. Okay. So we learn chapter 1, Al-Iman. This means belief or faith in Arabic. So the book that teaches you about this is called the Book of Tawheed. Now, the Book of Tawheed are books that talk about Iman, depending on the scholar who has written it. The Shaykh has written a book about Tawheed. I think it's Mawahibul Qudus, I think it's that. Or maybe another type of book, I don't remember. But we will go in depth with that in future videos. So you have Tawheed. This is the book that talks about Iman. Now, the Shaykh states in the book what you should believe in. He mentions the first one, believing in Allah. So far, we explained about this, but today we're just going to talk about it more. Now, like I said in the previous video, believing in Allah is not just saying, oh, I know that Allah exists. Not just being exists. You have to submit to Him. Submission is giving up yourself, your thoughts, your beliefs, what you want in life, everything, and make Allah's wants, Allah's laws, everything that He decided in this world to be what you should follow, without any question, without any doubt, and with acceptance that you agree with it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is different from any creation. He has no starting point. There's no Allah started during this specific time, because time only exists in our universe, in the human universe, where the planets are, where beings are. This creation is where time exists. But outside of the universe, in the universe of Allah, time doesn't exist. So you can't say Allah started during this time. Allah also doesn't have an ending. He never dies. He was always. We human beings, we die. Although our soul is eternal. Because when we die, it's just our soul being taken from the body and we move on. We don't disappear. Unless Allah wants us to disappear. We have a starting point. Allah doesn't. Allah doesn't have an ending point. So it's just this world in which we talk about time. There's a beginning, there's an end. There's life and death. It's only for this time. Same thing goes for animals, same thing goes for nature, trees, they all die. Planets, they get destroyed. Asteroid, they destroy. Like, it's only in this universe that happens. But also, Allah knows everything. It's all-knowing. Knowledge, the way we see it, is different from what it is exactly. We only know a portion. We only know a small portion. And what is that knowledge? How to build stuff through the ground, through materials. That's what you learn in high school or college. You learn about math, physics. They only teach you about nature, how to use nature, how to make materials. That's what you learn. That is only a knowledge focused on this universe. But knowledge in its entirety is beyond our minds. Which is why we humans cannot know much. We only know a little. Allah is the all-knowing. There's no doubt on His knowledge. But also, Allah communicates. He speaks, He sees. But it's not like us, like seeing through the eyes or talking to the mouth. Some people say that the speech is a communication to the heart. But we can't go in depth because it's a whole nother reality beyond us. But one thing we can know is Allah is seeing us. Wherever you are in this planet, even if you are in Mars, He can see you. Yes, Hadi, you have a question? What is it? Whatever you want to know in life, it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can provide it to you. which is why when it comes to finding a solution, he has a solution. He has the strategy to solve issues, which is why everything we need to know about how to live, he would give us scriptures which allows us to understand that. And one of the scriptures is the Quran. The Quran is part of the Tawheed. We'll learn that after. The Quran has everything we need to live a life, but it's not easy to just understand. It takes time to understand. But he created a human being whom, by just looking at him, you would understand what the Quran is teaching, and that is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He is called the walking Quran. So whenever we want to understand Allah's law, is to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But what I would also be explaining is that how serious we need to be with our relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Allah, we can see him as a parent and their child. You know, when we were babies, we like mess up the diaper, we cry all night, we drink milk and drool. But our parents are not gonna say, "Why are you doing this?" Blah blah blah. That's normal because we're babies. We don't know what we're doing. Same way how Allah is looking at us. Like we sin every day. He tells us to do things, we don't do it. But yet He lets us live. He lets us have what we want in life. He gives us peace. We think that it's okay, but that's not okay because we're not babies. We're conscious, but Allah knows that our mentality is weak, but we need to learn to follow Allah. And that's something that takes time. But Allah is patient with us because we're weak. Spiritually and mentally we're weak. So if we see that this Lord that we're worshiping gives us everything and is waiting for us to do things for Him, we need to reflect, make decisions, change our bad habits, and follow Him. Do our best to follow Him. He showed us these great men, the prophets, the Anbiya. They're all here to teach us the way. And the scholars, they're all here to teach the way. So we have to make the decision to change. Does anybody have questions? Yes, Muhammad.
I have a question. See, when you were talking about what dies, like when Allah doesn't die,
Mm-hmm.
when a person dies and you say the soul gets out, where does the soul go?
Okay. So the soul goes to a place, a waiting place. Like this is like after what happens in the grave, because usually when you die, your soul is out. But when it's time for like punishment in the grave and so on, it goes back to the body for that. May Allah protect us from that. But the soul, until the end of time, the soul will be in a place called Barzakh.
What's
Barzakh is like another dimension where all the souls are going to wait.
Also, it's a place where all the souls are gathered
Yes.
to the end of the world.
Yeah, when the end of the world starts, that's when everybody is ready for the judgment day. Okay, online, do you guys have questions?
It's for
No.
No questions. Any last questions?
I do.
Okay. I want a very serious question from you guys.
I have a very serious question.
Okay, what is it, Mamjara?
So you know how you were talking about how the souls are gathered
Mm-hmm.
until the end of the time?
Mm-hmm.
So when the end of the time comes,
Mm-hmm.
do the souls go to a gateway?
Gateway, like
Slenderman.
a path somewhere else?
Yeah, between heaven and hockey stick.
Well, you know, I don't know. Because what you just learned is that they go to Barzakh until the end of time. Okay. So that was going to be our last questions. We don't have much time today. So Today we learned about believing in Allah. So next time we're going to move on to the other beliefs, and it's going to be about the angels. So we will talk about the angels, inshallah.
Ow, ow.
But understand that all of you Muslims, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what I said so far is just an atom of knowledge. I am a student like everybody else. Everything you need to know is through the rightly guided scholars. They will teach you everything you need to know. So that's it for today. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.